I've polarized the hull plating. That should allow us to take a few more hits. Enemy phaser impact dissipated.
Heading?
Attack pattern Beta 3. Circle around that asteroid and come back firing.
Zeldy, in range.
Fire!
Zeldy's shield's down to 82%.
We're doing damage, but they're hitting us right back. We'll run out of hull before we penetrate their shields.
Perhaps I can be of assistance. I can modify your impulse engines to amplify their meager output and avoid more of their attack. But I will need full access to your propulsion system.
That goes against dozens of Starfleet regulations.
It's not a security risk if the alternative is destruction.
To me, it's simple. You can take this beating and hope you can weather it. Or will you put your trust in me? I've left everything behind for you. The least you can do is put your faith in me.
Commander Ermot, give portal access to the propulsion systems. You're going to have the ship in your hands. Don't let me down.
This will take a moment.
Your ship has let up its fire.
That gives us some time.
All right. One of these freight containers should do the trick.
Be quick.
We need one big enough for all of us to fit inside. Something we can make airtight. Damn it, not this one.
Not enough room for the big guy. No way this'll hold up in a vacuum. Here we go. This'll work.
That's great, but it's not airtight yet.
No problem. We'll just seal it up.
This container is extremely heavy. Even with the containment field open, it won't leave the bay quickly. I'll find something to accelerate our exit.
Glancing blow. Very little damage.
I cannot keep this up for long.
Their phaser banks are recharging. Now's our window. We have to strike back.
I agree.
Their next barrage could be our last. Better make this count.
Target their weapon systems. Take the teeth out of their bite.
That could make them run. Just like the Veskar, we'd lose Diaz and Etzelar again. Hit their engines. We've already lost the Veskar.
We need to protect ourselves first.
Target their propulsion systems. I don't want them going anywhere.
Targeting their engines.
Whoa. We gotta move it now.
These will give us the push we need.
Those are explosives.
We'll ride the blast right out of here. All set.
I'll set the containment field to deactivate, and then run back. We can detonate by remote.
We'll need to seal the doors from inside the container once we do.
Before all the air sucks out of the cargo bay.
Just a few more moments.
Hurry! What are they doing in there? Please, help me.
No. The Takan get what they deserve.
Don't leave me to die.
I don't know. Can we really leave her?
We can't. We don't have the time. We have to seal ourselves in.
This ship can't fly. Sidron set it to self-destruct. Please, Armenta.
It's not her.
No. I know it's not.
Carter, we have to seal the doors.
Don't leave me!
Get this lifeboat off the ship before Sidron blows it all to hell!
We're going.
Hetzelar to Resolute.
I have the away team.
Go ahead.
We're about to exit.
We see the cargo bay containment field is deactivated.
Get that tractor beam ready. And you should know, the Zeldy is set to self-destruct.
If we do enough damage to the Zeldy first, it'll prevent the self-destruct sequence from completing.
We can't wait any longer. We have to fire.
Captain, they're almost out of there.
We need to act fast.
Hold all fire! Get out of there, Petty Officer. Do it now!
You heard her.
Done!
Ready?
Detonate! We're out!
I have them on sensors. Tractor beam activating.
Locked on and ready to fire.
Fire!
Tractor beam's locked on. We have them. They'll be pulled into the docking bay shortly.
There's something else. I tracked a transporter signal to the planetoid moments before the Zeldy detonated.
Sidron.
There's a Takan structure there. It's the reason they were here. It's the reason we are here. Now.
I have to see it for myself. We'll go there together.
I had assumed as much.
Is this the Takan arsenal Galvin was after?
Legend says this region once held the sacred mysteries of the Takan Empire. Our greatest treasure. Our most fearsome technology.
I want a full security detail. Westbrook, Bredrosian, you're with me. Mr. Ermont, you have the con.
Wait. You're not the first officer anymore. The captain is supposed to stay with the ship. I'm surprised Lieutenant Bedrosian didn't raise that first.
I thought Captain Rydek knew what she was doing.
That's the protocol. But it's also a captain's prerogative to break that protocol.
I suppose it is.
We'll deal with the first officer vacancy when we return. Until then, Mr. Ermont?
Yes, Captain.
Any sign of Sidron?
Not that I can see.
High alert, everyone. The enemy could be anywhere. Follow my lead.
Let's make this a short mission, all right?
That's the plan.
Well, it's your call to come down here. Still not sure I agree. I respect the chain of command. Lasers should make quick work of the ice. Is this another Takan vault?
I don't see a way in.
Vault in the mines was already open.
There must be some way to activate it.
Look around. There must be some sort of hidden mechanism to trigger it.
I don't see anything.
Are you done? Hidden mechanism. Better to keep it simple. Sometimes the answer is staring you right in the face.
Thank you. Definitely easier this way. Spread out. Let's see what we can find. And stay on high alert. We don't know where the Takan that beamed down here could be.
You will need my help, Commander.
How so?
Traversal here is trivial for a Takan, but only a Takan. When you come across a device you cannot use, merely call my name.
Will do. Thank you. This pattern resembles the transporter device Petty Officer Maris used to escape the Resolute. Portal 6-3?
You wish to make use of this device?
It's a transporter of some kind?
It allows Takan to move through space instantly a short distance. Very convenient. I will activate the system for you.
Where does it go?
I'm not sure. The markings here must be from after my time.
Well, only one way to find out. Soil. Just soil. It's not from this planet, nor any planet in the Federation database. Why is this here?
This is soil from the homeworld. Our capital system. This isn't an arsenal. It's a temple of the ancients. Sacred ground to the Takan. I took my oath as a guardian of the Empire in a place just like this. You cannot imagine the look of pride in my parents' eyes as they said goodbye. Forever. Sorry. This is the first I've seen of anything new from the Takan Empire in a very long time. I'm sure you're familiar with the feeling. That sense of loss. I thought I was ready for it. But it cuts to the core of your being.
I totally understand that feeling. It's unavoidable and inescapable no matter what you do.
Yes, it's that distant but familiar feeling that's forever just out of reach.
Can you use this to find out more about what Galvin is after?
The information's encrypted. I can only discern that it's a warship. No. It's the Aphelion. Perhaps the most powerful Taconian ship ever built. I can't access the full file, but looking through the ship's schematics, It appears to be equipped with some sort of experimental, highly advanced transporter technology.
Transporter technology? For what?
Captain, you better come see this. There are more up ahead.
From the looks of it, I'd say someone left in a hurry.
Probably right around the time we showed up.
I've seen these before, in the other vault. And if all of those are the same as this, then there must be...
Hundreds of millions, if not billions. All that remains of the Dakon civilization. A distinct person, encapsulated in crystalline form. Preserved for all eternity.
Given the size of this vault, there must have been tens of thousands of these cases, representing billions and billions of Dakon.
A threat on a truly massive scale. One your Federation can't easily contend with. What you have to understand is, these life forms were preserved for the benefit of the Dakon civilization, as a means of safeguarding the health and well-being of any Dakon, should they fall prey to illness or injury. They were never intended to be used for this purpose.
There you are wrong. This was always their purpose, to restore the glory that was lost. Congratulations on your first victory in battle, Captain Rydek. You killed a great many of my compatriots, some that I've known for millennia. Are you proud of how much death you've caused? Each Dakon life is precious, irreplaceable. Centuries of knowledge and culture, lost with each one you murdered.
I was protecting my crew. It's regrettable to take any life. But when someone threatens galactic civilization, force is the correct response.
And I suppose it worked. For now. Thankfully, I don't have to convince you of anything. We'll all be on the same side soon enough.
You can't just bioform whoever you want. Not without a fight.
Ah, but that's just it. There won't be a fight. In fact, most won't even know what's happened. One minute you're standing there as you. The next you're standing here as one of us.
He's talking about mass transformation. That's what the Aphelion was built for.
The transporter. It'll reconstitute your DNA and bioform you into a Dakon in the blink of an eye. This is what they'll use as ammunition.
In a manner of speaking, yes. Of course, that's the simple version. But the end result will be the same.
You're talking about a crime against sentient life on a mass scale.
Or an evolutionary process where the strongest and most capable survive. The Aphelion is on its way here as we speak. Now it's only a matter of time. You can't delay that which is inevitable. Which makes your next decision fairly simple. Brother, you are, after all, a portal.
I am.
Your sole purpose is to serve as a guardian of the Tekon Empire. But you stand here surrounded not by your fellow Tekon, but by members of the Federation. By people who deny our fundamental right to exist. You swore an oath to protect the Empire. And I can only assume that's why you're here.
There is only one true Tekon here, and that's Portal. You're a scion, a disgrace to the memory of the Tekon, brought back through unnatural means.
I only tolerate your presence so long as you continue to amuse me. Which side are you on?
Captain Rydek, long-range sensors suggest a massive spacecraft approaching in the distance.
The time has come. I hope we speak again, brother.
Estimated time to contact, 6 minutes and counting.
We can't stay here. We have to get back to the ship.
And we have to preserve these souls. We must take them back to your ship.
Those crystals are ammunition to be used against us. We have to destroy them. Bombard the site from orbit.
I'll decide, once we're safely aboard the Resolute. 4 to transport.
You have to hear me out, Captain. I've always stood by you. But if you bring those things on board, I'll have no choice but to resign.
If they're taken to the Aphelion, they will be forced into new bodies, brought back to life in a way they never asked for.
They're not living beings, but they're still dangerous. And if you don't make decisions to protect us, we're gonna end up like Solana. You, me, the entire crew. We're all next.
Two minutes and counting. It's headed straight toward the vault. The Aphelion is coming into view now, Captain. Arrival at the second vault in less than a minute.
I would remind you, those life forms are Tekon. Not science, Tekon. They're not your enemy.
Right or wrong, history will judge you for this moment.
Transport the storage crystals aboard the Resolute.
Did I hear that right?
That's an order.
The storage crystals are on board in our cargo bay.
Thank you. I won't forget this.
I hope you realize what you've done. We don't need another captain who's gonna risk our lives just to feed their ego. This ship and this crew come first.
Lieutenant.
She has to hear it.
This isn't about me. It's our duty as Starfleet officers to protect life, wherever and however we find it. and I couldn't let them fall into Galvin and Sidron's hands. I had to do it this way.
And to think, I used to look up to you.
The Aphelion is targeting us, approaching rapidly.
They hit us with that bioforming ray, and it's over. Maximum warp. Get us out of here.
Where, Captain?
Anywhere but here. Now!
There they are!
You did what had to be done with the Tasker. I know you held out hope, but it's what she would have wanted. The Tasker can rest now. Even if I wavered in the moment. It wasn't a question of time.
I wish I could have found a way to save her.
You did.
Oh, no surprises here. But your shoulder's separated. If you come with me to sickbay, we can get you fixed up in no time.
Thank you. I'll find you afterwards.
You two, check in at your stations. This thing isn't over yet.
Hey, Diaz.
Yeah?
Did you see our people over there? Miranda?
Kapoor, Hauser? We saw Miranda and Kapoor, but they're bioform. And as far as I know, there's no way to undo it.
That means they're not our friends anymore.
If they attack us?
We'll have to stop them. No matter what it takes.
Yeah. I guess we have to be ready for that.
I can't believe it, but I'm actually looking forward to seeing Chobok. Not that I'd expect this kind of welcome from him, but I can just imagine the look on his face.
You know what? I want to see him too. It'll be nice to get one piece of normalcy.
I'm sure we can count on him for that.
I can't believe it! You evaded the Takan, ejected their warp cores, and lived to talk about it!
That about sums it up.
They're gonna be teaching this at the Academy for years to come. I mean it. Everybody's gonna learn how you pulled it off.
Well, what we did... You can't just teach that.
Maybe not, but I'm sure they'll try. I heard about Belle. Is Miranda...
As far as we know, she's still out there.
Well, I know Captain Rydek will do her best to get her back.
Hold on. Rydek? What about Captain Solano?
He was turned into a Takan. Rydek had to take over. She's a hell of an officer, but none of us have been up against anything like this. No one has. Not in 500,000 years.
We'll just have to step up and work that much harder to help Captain Rydek.
It's gonna take all of us.
Talk to you later.
It is agreeable to see you again.
Is that so?
It was by no means a certainty that you would return to duty here.
It's great to be seen, boss. There were a few moments out there off the ship where I wasn't really sure we'd be making it back either. Everything here in engineering's kind of a sight for sore eyes.
Indeed. You should know your absences left engineering terribly short-handed. During your sojourn, this department has fallen unacceptably behind schedule on both regular and irregular duties.
There's been a whole lot of irregularity going around.
Seems like you could use some help around here. We're ready to go to work.
I'd like to catch my breath for at least a few minutes, Carter.
Normally, I would assign you to one of the many pressing repair tasks. But, given your experience on board the Zeldy, I have suggested you join the senior staff briefing as we determine our next course of action. You can commence your maintenance shift afterwards.
I tended to an Illidian earlier. Major Sarlet Arminta.
Ah, yes. I met him at the negotiations.
I never would have imagined I'd be here, on the same ship, working together with our oppressors. But now that I am, I can imagine a future where the Hotari and Illidians are no longer enemies. I always hoped for peace, but it seems so far away. There's still a lot of bad blood.
Peace is often fleeting. If there's a chance, you should take it.
Peace with our former enemies may be hard for some to accept, but it's what my people need.
It's coming along nicely. Thank you, Tylus. I'll take it from here. We're almost done.
I have to brief Ambassador Spock in a few minutes.
Ambassador Spock can wait. You have some fences to mend. Personally, I'm against the needless destruction of innocent life forms, so I'm glad you transported the Draconian crystals onto the ship. But Lieutenant Bedrosian obviously feels otherwise. And right now, you need the full support of your bridge crew. Being an effective leader requires trust, but an issue as divisive as this can create discord.
I still need and value contrary opinions. I don't want everyone agreeing with me when they feel otherwise.
Oh, you'll know when Lieutenant Bedrosian doesn't agree with something. She's not shy about making her opinion known. It's been a chaotic last few days for everyone. You need to name a new first officer in preparation for what's coming. You'll have to work to regain Lieutenant Bedrosian's trust, but if she's removed from consideration, it comes down to Westbrook or Irma. Obviously, there are pros and cons with each, but ultimately, the decision is yours. Commander Westbrook has seniority and was hoping to be Captain Solano's first officer. Irma has the knowledge and experience that makes him more than qualified.
I don't mind saying I consider Commander Irma a strong candidate for the role.
He'd be a popular choice with the crew, and bring a steadiness to the position that others might lack. Certainly not a controversial choice, but then some may perceive that as playing it safe. You're as good as new.
Thank you, Dr. Duvall.
Always nice to have a captive audience. You really shouldn't keep Ambassador Spock waiting.
Captain.
I'll meet you inside.
I'm here to officially tender my resignation from the crew of the USS Resolute. I cannot in good conscience continue to serve aboard this ship, not while the interests of the enemy take precedent over the safety of the crew.
Listen, Lieutenant. I understand how you feel, and I respect your opinion. You're one of the most valuable officers on the bridge, which is why I cannot accept your resignation.
I'm sorry, Captain, but I expected as much. Which is why I already submitted my letter of resignation to Starfleet Command.
My door is always open if you change your mind.
We'll have Ambassador Spock via subspace shortly.
Thank you, Mr. Armand.
I'll notify Lieutenant Bedrosian we're about to begin.
That won't be necessary.
Petty Officers Diaz and Edsolar have first-hand experience with our adversaries. I thought it advantageous for them to join this briefing. I understand this is unusual, but I trust you have no objections?
Talk about moving up in the world.
These are unusual times, Mr. Chovak.
In all seriousness, what Diaz and Edsolar accomplished aboard the Zeldi is nothing short of remarkable. They're both to be commended, not only for surviving against incredible odds, but for helping our efforts against these scions.
You know, Carter deserves most of the credit. None of us would have made it without his help. We'd all be bioformed by this point.
There were way more people involved than just me. Not only Petty Officer Edsolar, but we had help from an Elydian officer named Arminta as well.
Interesting.
Ambassador Spock is ready for you.
Put him through.
Captain Rydek, your recent change in station certainly warrants mention, and I trust you to faithfully execute your expanded duties. Right now, we must keep our attention on the clear and present danger that lies ahead, the Takan and their warship. The closest populations are the Hotari and Elydian systems, and they are likely the first targets for mass bioforming. After that, lies Federation space. I have advised Starfleet Command to send an impromptu battle group to intercept and assist you, but that will take time. You are our first line of defense. And with our shield algorithms compromised, we are at a great disadvantage.
I'm glad to hear the battle group is en route, Ambassador. With what we're up against, we're gonna need all the help we can get.
And you will have it. Remember, our strength is drawn from our ability to work together towards a common goal.
Have we made any progress in finding a way to defend ourselves from the Aphilion's bioforming weapon?
Currently, our shields will not protect us, but I am compiling all of the information the away team gathered on the Zeldi and cross-referencing it against our own as well as Portal 6-3's methods.
The away team is sitting right here. They survived without getting bioformed, so we know it's possible. So, what's the secret? How do we defend ourselves? Is there a weakness we can exploit? Something we can do to avoid getting bioformed?
I wish I could tell you the solution. But the truth is, there is no easy answer. There's no defense against bioforming. One-on-one or on a mass scale. At least, not that I know of.
We may not be able to stop it, but it might be possible to slow it down. It's too soon to say for sure, but we've had some promising indications that Duridium can delay the bioforming process.
Duridium?
It's not a cure. It's not going to bring anyone back we've already lost. But Duridium is a cell stabilizer, so it has the potential to slow down the onset of physical and mental changes, if not entirely prevent them. And we might be the only ship in the fleet with this much Duridium on hand. In fact, a lot of ships wouldn't have any.
I'll forego the rest of my treatments, if it means the crew will be safe.
Captain, you'd die.
That's an honorable intention, but it's not that simple. It requires a much larger dose to be effective. We don't have enough Duridium on board to protect the whole crew. We barely have enough to protect everyone in this room.
Sounds like it won't do us much good then.
The use case I'd suggest is that it could buy a little time for an officer or a small group to complete a task or mission. But it has to be taken at the moment of exposure to the bioforming mechanism.
Prepare a delivery method for this remedy.
That raises the question, what is the mission?
Assuming the Aphelion uses shields of some kind, I don't expect it will be easy to bypass their defenses.
We may not be able to block the Aphelions' attack either. But if they do strike, we know their weapon uses transporter technology. We might be able to backtrack their signal path.
Like we did to evacuate Captain Rydek from Tau.
Exactly. We could send an away team onto the Aphelion.
So we could destroy it from the inside.
I'm not exactly sure how, but...
I think Portal could still help us. If he can't get a first-hand look at the Aphelion, he might be able to identify a weakness.
After sparing the remnants of his civilization, I should hope he'd help us.
He will.
We'll need to prepare a boarding party, if it comes to that.
Petty Officers Edsalar and Diaz are the logical choices to lead any away mission to the Aphelion. They have already crippled one enemy ship. If anyone can do so again, it is them.
This isn't like the engineering mission that took you to the Zeldi. Do you really have some special insights that a tactical team wouldn't?
Doesn't the fact that we're here speak for itself?
Just surviving won't be enough this time.
We found that only a Takan can operate their technology to its fullest. So, unless we want to try to do this with one hand tied behind our backs, we're definitely gonna need an assist from this Portal guy.
I like that even less.
Like it or not, that's the truth.
Yes. Portal should be part of the away team. There's no question in my mind.
If this is the necessary course of action, I support it.
I will compile all the latest data on the tricorders, just in case.
In the meantime, I want you working on ways we can combat the Takan tech. Shields, weapons, anything we can use.
Yes, Captain.
Anything else, Ambassador?
I know this matter is in capable hands. Hold the line as best you can. Help is on the way.
Thank you. We have plenty to do and no time for speeches. Let's get to work. Thank you, Petty Officers Diaz and Edsalar. You're dismissed.
While we have a quorum of senior staff, there is a procedural element we need to take care of. The Resolute command codes must be transferred to Captain Rydek for control of the ship.
Of course.
Computer, transfer all command codes to Captain Jara Rydek. Voice authorization Ermot, Echo 4 Lima.
Voice authorization Duval. Beta 2 Yankee.
Voice authorization Westbrook. Alpha 7 Tango.
Awaiting your authorization, Captain.
Voice authorization, Rydek. Alpha 7 Whiskey.
Captain's codes transfer. The updated command structure is incomplete. Please designate a new first officer.
Who is the new first officer?
Please designate a new first officer.
I am proud to name Commander Ermot as my new first officer, effective immediately. Congratulations.
Thank you, Captain. I promise I won't let you down.
Computer, Commander Ermot is the new first officer of the USS Resolute.
Awaiting voice authorization.
Voice authorization Ermot, Echo 4 Lima.
Authorization is now complete.
Now, if you'll excuse me, there's work to be done.
Nicely done. I think that went well.
Captain Rydek!
Excuse me for a minute.
This is just unbelievable, unacceptable, inexplicable. To be the most senior officer on the bridge, and to be passed over again? It was bad enough when you went to Ermot with the information about Captain Solano being compromised. But this... I've never felt more humiliated.
Look, I know we've had our differences in the past, but this is not about you. This is about what would be in the best interests of everyone. Which is why I chose Commander Ermot.
He's not even close to being first officer material. He's little more than a bureaucrat who's never set foot off the ship. That is a serious liability at a time when we need experience.
The crew on this ship has experienced as many challenges and tragedies as any crew could be expected to endure. What we need now, more than anything, is stability and reliability. A calm and reassuring presence.
Ridiculous.
I don't understand. Giving it everything she's got, but it doesn't make a difference. Something is actively slowing us down.
Keep trying. What's the situation in engineering?
I can't raise them. Internal comms are down.
It's the ionic interference. It's spiking again. If we reinitialize the central communications trunk, it should compensate. I know the process, Captain. With your permission, I'll go handle it.
Of course.
If Galvin manages to catch us, there's nothing we can do. We're no match for Taconian technology. Not to mention the shield frequencies. As if that wasn't enough of a challenge of its own.
I'll consider any suggestions from my first officer.
We're being pulled out of warp!
I've got the Aphelion rapidly bearing down on our position.
We're being hailed by the Aphelion. Galvin demands to be heard.
On screen.
You thought you could run? That I would let you escape so easily after taking what's mine? How pathetic and predictable. At least you can take solace knowing you'll be a far braver Takan than you were as a cowardly Kobliad. Is it any wonder your people perished? If your every instinct is to run from a fight.
You underestimate the lengths I'm willing to go to ensure you don't succeed.
Sadly, this is as far as you'll get. We both know I hold your fate in the palm of my hand. That I could crush you in an instant if I so desired. And as much as I'd like to, you have another purpose to serve. As one of us.
Red alert! Pandar, get us out of here! Evasive maneuvers!
They've hit us, decks 8 through 10. But I'm not reading any structural damage.
They were targeting the crew, not the ship.
Captain, we have to respond with force. Return fire. Don't let them attack without a counter.
Fire photon torpedoes! Target the source of the beam!
No damage from the photon torpedoes, Captain. Their shields are still at full strength. The Aphelion's just too powerful.
Damage report from the lower decks.
Still can't get through on the comms, Captain. If that was the bioforming ray, we have to assume there are now Takan on board the Resolute. They could all be Takan at this point.
Seal the bridge. No one gets access without my permission.
I think that would be wise.
Here are your new tricorders. Now go. Get to the transporter room.
We don't know who's on what side, Carter. Come on!
Transporter room 1.
You're coming with us?
A security officer told me your funeral, which I gladly accepted.
These are concentrated deuterium doses. You need to take the dose as soon as you're exposed for it to be effective. Hell, take it right before if you can get the Takan to wait while you do it.
I'm having trouble locking onto the transporter path through the interference.
I've done this before. I have to align the transporter with the tetrametric signature. We need to tunnel through the shields. There's a problem. We don't have enough power to make the jump. I might be able to divert power from—
Stand aside. The signal is now resolved. I couldn't let you fumble about any longer.
Thanks for that.
No need. We must be on our way. I am Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire.
Nice to meet you, Portal.
We're right behind you.
Do us proud over there. Ready to transport.
Energize.